Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, I have a very, very, very special live for you. One of my good friends here from Toronto, my good friend Jay. Jay had on my podcast about a year ago, and he had one of the most incredible stories ever. Just in a nutshell, and I don't want to butcher it. I'm just going to try to summarize it based on what I remember. Then, of course, he can tell his story better than anyone. Former broke pastor turned into a six-figure a month closer now. He just closed $1 million in 90 days. So now he's going to be talking to us about that and about how to sell without selling. So that's going to be phenomenally powerful. Oh, let me also live it on Facebook. I forgot to press the live on Facebook. Okay, let's go. All right. So.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, now it's live.
All right. So, as I said, I'm here with my good friend Jay from Toronto, a superstar ninja closer, closed $1 million over the past 90 days. Former pastor. We couldn't make $2,000 a month, and now all of a sudden he cracked the code, became a six-figure a month closer, and now he's just crushing it. Has just destroyed it. He was just telling me stories just before going live. They said, "Wow, this is too beautiful." But anyways, without further ado, Jay, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me again, Payman. Look forward to chatting with you and sharing any value to your audience.
Pleasure's all mine. So for people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about you. Who's Jay?
Yeah, so former introvert, former banker, actually, with one of the larger banks here in Canada, and also former pastor for over a decade, and became a seven-figure high-ticket closer. So that's the nutshell. That's the short version of it.
Beautiful. Wow, that can be an amazing book, an amazing podcast by yourself because you're blessed with an incredible array of stories. And I remember also you had quite a few of amazing experience around the world. One of them, I believe, was in Central Asia. Just now memories are coming back, some incredible stories of you having some face-to-face with some grizzly, some bears, something like that, if I remember correctly. No?
No,
But
that
something
wasn't me.
crazy,
No.
something crazy. I remember that, yes. But anyways, so, wow. So tell us about what have you been up to since then?
Yeah, so last time we spoke, I was starting to gain traction and
Mm.
closing. For those of you in the high ticket coaching space, if I'm throwing some numbers, if you don't understand, I'll try to decipher them. But, people were saying and catching notice of some of the closing rates and the cash collected rates of what I was doing. And I didn't think that was a thing. I didn't understand what these, because I pivoted from pastoring to high ticket sales, and I didn't know what was good because I had no reference point. So, well, in my first 2 months, I was closing like 83,000 the first month part time. The second month, I closed $105,000. But I'm like, I don't know, is that good? How would I know what's good? Because I have no reference point. So I'm just like, I don't know. And then all my sales colleagues they've been doing it for a lot longer than me. And the one thing that the founder said is like, you're a pastor. What do you know? You don't know anything. I'm like, you're right. I don't know anything. I'm just here to learn, right? And then next thing you know, my sales colleagues were recording or taking all my Zoom recordings for my sales calls. And they started to, I didn't realize, but they were transcribing my entire sales script for my
Whoa.
calls because they wanted to close the same amount, the same cash collected, the same closing rates and revenue per month so that they could win the bonuses. There was like a competition every month. And so the one guy came to me and said, I transcribed every single sales call that you did in the past month, and I verbatim, said it in my sales calls. And I said, how did that work for you? He goes, I haven't been able to close any sales. And so he said, what's up with that? And I'm like, first of all, that's kind of creepy that you did that without telling me.
So before
Secondly,
all the second,
yeah, go ahead.
so do you remember roughly by what margin were you outperforming anyone else in that program?
Yes, so they were closing probably about 20% close rate. I was probably
Okay.
closing at about a 75-80%.
Holy smoke.
So so probably about 4 or 5 times more.
Wow, indeed. That is stellar. Wow.
And then cash collected, they were doing about 15%, maybe 20%. I was doing 96% cash collected.
And these were seasoned closers, right?
Yeah,
And
they
you're just
obviously I was just coming to the I was a new kid on the block. I'm like, what's going on here?
no sales training, no previous background, but just because, let me guess, maybe I'm wrong, is because you being a pastor, you have this incredible gift to connect with people and not sell, but talk from the heart. And that's what people resonate with. And that I can see that resulting in a much higher conversion rate because people don't want to be sold. They want to be led and shown the way that makes sense to them to be a no brainer.
Yeah, I think you summed it really well because in the 10 years of doing being a pastor, people called me an evangelist to be able to share the good news. And through that, I helped train over 2,500 people on how to share the love of God. And then we saw probably over 10,000 professions of faith or people that came to a decision to follow Christ. And it took over 40,000 conversations. So I didn't know it then because I'm just doing my thing, staying in my lane, if you will. But those 40,000 plus conversations were what, like you just said yourself, were taught me how to ask better questions, taught me how to build rapport and trust very quickly with people who were abrasive, people who were not open, people who were quite aggressive and even at times violent to me sharing with them or me having a conversation with them. So I had to learn very, very quickly how to pivot, how to position, how to really posture myself, the three P's, to really be able to speak to people so that I'm listening to them and not trying to pitch them, not trying to sell them. So that's why the whole topic of how do you sell without selling? Well, be a human being and listen to them and build a real relationship.
Wow, 45,000 conversation. That's a tremendous amount of on the field, on the job training. So if we go by shortcuts, I mean not so shortcut, but just summarizing it. So would you say that the secret for you to become $1 million closer was for you to become a pastor? So are you saying you want to become a killer closer, become a pastor first? That's a secret.
If Yeah, if you're not going to become a pastor, then you can come to a faith in Christ and learn how to love people well and serve them. Now, I have to say that not all Christians have displayed that and demonstrated that well, including myself. But the everyday goal or calling in life is to be able to do that better. Love God and love your
Wow.
neighbor.
Because honestly, when you're talking, you don't have to be a pastor for any religion, but just being a pastor, that's the most difficult sale you have to do. Convincing someone about what to believe and changing the very strong beliefs. And I can see why that can be a tremendous formation or training for you to become absolutely killer. Because what is business about? Business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matters, but business is a relationship nurturing process. We do business with people we can relate and connect people. If someone feels that they're being listened to, and then they will be much more willing to listen to what you have to offer. And then it's not going to be a sale. It's going to be more like an organic, natural progression to the next step. So I can see that why you being having this 45,000 conversation. Now I understand why. Wow. Okay. That's the greatest, one of the
See,
greatest life hacks I ever heard, man.
yeah, wait, you discovered it right on the call. That's impressive.
Yes.
That
Wow.
speaks of your zone of genius to be able to extract that.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Wow. So what would you say for you was what allowed you to transition the skills you learned and your pastor past to be so good from the get-go into as a closer?
Two things. I think one is the art of listening has been lost
Mm-hmm.
in sales. You do it very well. I mean, like you've got almost 200 episodes under your belt, and it seems like you do it so
Thank you.
well and so easily. I've been on podcasts with you. I've listened to your podcast. You're an excellent listener. So that's what would be a starting point and a foundation for being really, really good at selling because selling is serving. And how do you serve? You listen. So if you're in any relationship or in a marriage, wives will probably say husbands and men have lost the art of listening, right? That's number one. Number two is selling is serving. Serving is
Absolutely.
being able to talk to people at a human level and being able to detach themselves from the sale. So I'll give you one story, real life story, because I feel like stories are very
Please.
powerful because they're real.
Yes.
So I offer what's called free 15-minute Sales Ninja audit calls. Okay, so we do outreach with our team, and then they book my calendar. And so let's say you booked a 15-minute Sales Ninja audit call, where in my messaging for my outreach, cold outreach, by the way, we'd be like, hey, we basically help build, grow, and scale coaching companies, entrepreneurs, and course creators. If you're looking at sharing best practices, referring business to each other, or learning how some of the things that we've worked have been helpful in growing and scaling companies from 0 to million in 12 months, 0 to 16 million in 29 months, or anything of that sort, we'd love to jump on a call. Here's the calendar link. So getting a lot of people that are booking calls, and when we get on the call like today, which is like we're complete strangers, I'll just start off by saying, hey, where are you from? And you say you're from Toronto. Hey, I'm from Toronto too. And then we just do commonalities. And I say, hey, I don't want to waste your time. I want to respect your time. We've got 15 minutes of amazingness together. And my goal is to help refer business to your way, like I mentioned, help best share best practices. If there's one area of pain or challenge in your business, what would that be? And then you would say, whatever it
Mhm.
is. And then I would say my goal in this call payment is to help you get unstuck or get more clarity in that one area. That's it. There's no, and I just say even sometimes when people are a bit like hesitant or like they're hesitant and kind of figuring like, is this going to be a sales pitch at the end? I said, just be aware that at the end of this call and during the call, there is going to be no sales pitch. There's going to be no upsell. Then there's no obligation to join anything that I'm offering. And then just
Powerful.
like, oh, that's very relieving. I just been on the last 6 calls and everyone had said that they were not going to do that and they all did it. So
Yes.
the 71-year young lady, can you believe that's probably going to be one of the most challenging people to talk to in some ways because of life stage, technology, more set in the ways, that type of thing. Because I'm just thinking about if I was talking to my parents, how would I talk to my parents' age in a way that can add value because they've lived longer than me and all that sort. This lady in particular in Chicago, talked to her. I just gave her a 15-minute sales audit. I looked at all the kind of the holes or the gaps, if you will. I identified one breakthrough in her business in the one free call, and no agenda, completely detached from any sale or any underlying agenda to help her get into another call, like nothing. And at the end of the call, she said, young man, you have given me more value in the last 22 minutes than I have in the last 3 years of anyone, mentors, masterminds, coaches. And she was like, I've been trained by some of the top people in the world. And then she named them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had no clue. I just thought you were like this older, wiser lady. But I had no idea that you've been in the arena with all these different significant people. And she
Wow.
went and said, this is amazing. So I said, okay, great. Thank you for your time. And I'm glad that you got one breakthrough today. So I was ready to leave. And she says, wait, just a moment, young man. I know you're not supposed to sell me or pitch me, or you had no obligation to do any of that, but I want you to pitch me. And I'm like, sorry?
Shut up and take
I
my
said, I
money.
want, yeah, exactly, right? That's what my one of my shows is called, Take My Money. So she's like, I want you to pitch me. I'm like, excuse me? She goes, I want you to sell me. I'm like, oh, I'm
Tell me
I'm
to
actually not
spend.
doing that on. Yeah. So I just said, listen, I'm not doing this on this call because I want to keep the integrity of this call. And she goes, do you have another call right now after? I said, no, I actually have a cancellation. She goes, okay, take the time and sell me right now. Tell me about your program
Wow.
because I'm very interested. And I'm like, I said, I was caught off guard because I was like
I'm ready,
not
of
ready to
course.
sell.
Yeah.
I had no script. I had no slide deck. So I'm like, okay, let me just pull up some information because I want to make sure I go through the offer properly. And then I went through the offer and she goes, sounds good. What's the investment? And then I said the investment. She goes, good. So where do we go from here? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. What do you want to do? She goes, I'm ready to start. I'm like, really? And then she said, yeah, how do I get started? Where do I pay? Do you send me an invoice? I'm like, no, I have a pay link. So I gave her the pay link and she joined yesterday. 71 years young.
Beautiful. See, this is what is beautiful when someone sees that you listen to them and you really care about them. You make them feel that they matter. Then selling is going to become. You don't even have to sell. That's one of my taglines. When you connect with someone as human level and they really like and respect you, you don't need to pitch, you don't need to seduce or kidnap someone. They will come after you. They will ask you to shut up and take my money because this is what selling is about. That's beautiful. Super happy to hear that, brother.
Thank you. I have one more story to share if that's
Please.
okay. So I got pitched on the weekend. I had no idea where the call was coming from, but they were persistent in calling. So I thought it was like someone that I was doing a JV partnership with from Florida. It looked like a Florida number. So because they called multiple times, I thought, gosh, I probably should take this call. I was at a family dinner for my son's birthday, so it's not the right time for me to take it. But
Sure.
I was having to take out the puppy for a walk, so I thought, okay, might as well just take the call because if it's going to help me, generate revenue or get ROI, then might as well take time and use this 5 minutes to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being a complete cold call, a sales call to help me get into an Airbnb business. And they said, with this, our clients have been able to get, an extra $2,000 a month in income by doing this. And I was like, okay, interesting. I'm like, I'm closing
I'm making a two
more
thousand
than
dollars
that.
every minute, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm closing like probably like $300,000 to $400,000 a month part time. So I don't actually think I need this. It's not really of interest to me. The ROI for the time, no offense, is
Sure.
just not high enough for me. And then he goes, "Oh my god." He's like, "Oh my
Okay.
god."
Just like that reminds me of the scene from the Wolf of Wall Street. Show me a payslip. I'll quit my job and join you right
Yeah.
now.
That's pretty much what he said on the cold call. So he's like, "I'm really sorry to ask you this, but can you tell me what you do?" And I'm really interested. So I share with him what I do, and he goes, "I have probably a list of people that need your help. They're a little bit down the pipeline because he's in sales." He goes, "But I'm more immediate and urgent, and I could use your help. Can we get on a call? Can I send you a DM? Can I connect with you on social media?" At this point, I had finished walking the dog, and I was in the toilet. I was in the bathroom going to the washroom, and basically the closer trying to close me ended up
You
me
closed.
closing him.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's wow. Wow, yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. So tell us about all the exciting stuff you're working on now, because you told me that you're working onto something really game changer for people. Tell us about that.
Are you talking about the Sales Ninja show,
Yes, 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 yes.
or did
Whatever
you
you
have
want to
something else in
talk.
mind?
No, no, whatever you want to talk about. I mean, you're the star. I'm just the host. So you tell me what you want to talk about.
Ah, oh man, there's so much. But yeah, one thing that I'm really excited is the brand new launch of my
Hmm.
Sales Ninja show. A
Yeah.
lot of people have been asking for my time and DMing me, and I'm like, all these one-offs. I'm just like, I'm trying to help everyone, trying to help everyone. I feel like, Superman trying to save the
Hmm.
world, but I can't be everywhere at all the time. And it got to the point where I was helping so many people that I was feeling kind of burnt out. And I said, listen, like I'm getting all this, giving all this free advice and helping people because, as a former pastor, I love helping. I'm passionate about serving, but I'm spread thin and people were not paying me. So I said, I just need to find a forum or a way that I can provide free value, free training, but from a one-to-one model to a one-to-many model. So I got a hold of
Hmm.
Jim Beard and Molly, who are live launch coaches. And basically, they have helped other coaches generate 7 figures without doing any outbound, any cold prospecting, because what they do is they do a live launch where they'll do like, a StreamYard and they'll do a weekly show. And people, from their Facebook group and from outside keep seeing and hearing the presence of, for example, Sales Ninja, how to sell more to give more, how to sell without selling, how to sell without sounding salesy, sleazy, and making your prospects sleepy. So all these different taglines are very attractive to people. And so they start coming to their shows and they were able to generate 7 figures without doing any outbound, any cold outreach. So I was interested in learning how to do that. I joined up with their program and I'm launching next Tuesday my very first brand new Sales Ninja show to provide free training, provide hot seat Q&A.
I love your catchy slogans. You can really turn them into a rap song, because say that again. The last one you just said, absolutely beautiful.
How to sell without sounding salesy, sleazy, or making prospects sleepy with boring offers.
Boom, 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 boom. You can be a DJ, man. The DJ, the pastor DJ, closing a million a month.
The last masterclass that I taught was discover Sales Ninja secrets to unlock a billionaire mindset to save you from flipping burgers for a minimum wage for the rest of your life.
Beautiful. Wow, that's very poetic. I like that. That's powerful. So is this going to be like a when you say a show? Is it going to be you just like a TV show or just once a week you will do a live providing value, answering questions from your audience, or do you have like a theme and a topic for each live you will do?
Yeah, so what I've done was I've done a poll to do some market research to ask
Mm-hmm.
what are the most common sales questions, objections, challenges that you have. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pooling them into a database, and then I'm going to teach and train on that every Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in my free Facebook group. So if you go to www.gosalesninja.com/Facebook group, you can find all the details in there. And so every Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing training and teaching on sales ninja strategies on how to sell more to give more. And every Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well, the same time, I'll be doing Q&A hot seat. So I'll be having different guests and different coaches. Have you probably, if you're free, because you're a busy guy, best-selling author and podcast hero on any areas that you're stuck, and we can jam live in real time to help you get unstuck with any areas that you're struggling with in sales.
Wow, powerful. I'm looking at your website right now. Wow, phenomenal amount of testimonials you have. Beautiful for
Yeah,
some
there's a
big.
lot more where that came from.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and oh, I see my podcast episode with you, episode 34.
Yes, sir. Of course. That's a
Damn.
long time ago. 34. You're almost
Yes,
done with
yes,
200.
yes, yes, yes. That was
Wow.
like exactly a year ago, around that time that we
That's
connected.
insane. That's insane, bro.
Wow, that's powerful, man. So what is again your website for people that didn't hear it?
So my website is go sales www.gosalesninja.com, and then my free Facebook group is also www.gosalesninja.com/Facebook group.
So two questions for who this is not a good fit for.
Great question. This is not a good fit for people who are whiners and complainers.
Mm-hmm.
If you're fluent in Chinese, I don't need you or want you.
Me neither.
Yeah. And so people who, so that's number one. Number two, if you're not coachable or not willing to take massive action, I
Mm-hmm.
can't help you.
Good.
If you are
Now,
coachable, if you are willing to take action, then I want you. If you're a course creator, entrepreneur, and or coach, I would love to work with you.
so okay, perfect. Now, just to take piggyback on that second part, who would benefit most from this? Would it be someone who already has a program, or someone that doesn't even have a program, has no idea, but just wants to, for example, quit their job and just build something that they own toward their freedom?
Yeah, I think my best zone of genius is when people already have an offer and when they're already making money and they have proof of concept, they have case
Mm-hmm.
studies and testimonials. I can basically put fuel to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I'm helping 10x businesses in 12 months.
Beautiful.
If you are starting from scratch, can I help you? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on what your zone of genius is, proof of concept, and the ability for you to take action and really at the speed of implementation. So I would say my ideal clients are ones who are already having an offer, who already have case studies. I had a seven-figure mindset coach say, Jay, your zone of genius is really helping grow and scale two kinds of people who are doing $10,000 months and want to hit $100,000 months, and people who are hitting $100,000 months and want to hit $1 million months.
And for people that are doing, say, struggling in doing, say, 1 to 3,000 a month, but just need to perfect the offer. They have an offer, they have existing testimonials, glowing testimonials, they have a program, but are struggling with because they're not a born salesperson or they're not a marketer or a copywriter, but just need that little push to get them to 10,000 from 10,000 to 100K. Is that something that's going to benefit that person?
Yeah, it's going to just take longer. I mean, I had
Mm-hmm.
one student that begged me to join my program. I basically said no to them, and they just said, listen, I know that if I join your program, you're going to help give me some clarity. I told them, I don't know if I can help you get results. And this morning, she just told me she's from the UK. She had no offer. She was in debt, and she didn't know what her zone of genius. So in 60 days, she made 24,000 pounds
That's about
in 60
30,000
days.
US.
Yeah, that's with
Wow.
no offer.
Within how long again? Within 3 months?
60 days. 60
Two
days, two
months.
months.
Whoa. Beautiful. So, what is the time investment that someone needs to put into this to really see some real results? And per week,
Yeah,
say, for example.
yeah. So it's a 12-week program, and
Mm-hmm.
I recommend a minimum of 3 to 4 hours a day. If you're doing this full time, you're going to get faster results. One of my students who was working 3 jobs. One, this is the coaching business was one. After one sales coaching call, he made $14,000 in 24 hours.
Holy, and that's enough for most people to quit their job, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Damn. So, what is the structure of your program? So, is it like a small group, big group? Is it more one on one? Is it more like a coaching? Tell us about the structure of your group. So, you already mentioned it's a 12-week program. Tell us more
Yeah,
about the structure.
yeah. So it's a 12-week program, and in this intensive mastermind, I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
make it longer because I want them to take action, and when
Mm-hmm.
they pay, they'll pay attention. So sometimes programs go so long, and then they feel like there's a buffer, or they feel like it's safe, or they feel like they have time. So I want them to feel the immediacy of you need to, get off your butt, get off Netflix and whatever that you're
Mm-hmm.
watching, and really put the work in. I'm going to commit to being your coach and keep me accountable, but I can't pull your teeth if you're not willing
Sure.
to. So the format basically is I have a core curriculum training that they study asynchronously, which is a 12-week core program that will teach them how to do sales, lead generation, copywriting, VSL, video sales letter funnels, creating a Facebook group, monetizing their Facebook group, messaging, like the whole 9 yards. It's everything from starting and launching and growing a 7-figure business, and then they have access to group coaching calls every single week. Right now, we have a stacked value of 4 calls a week for 12 weeks. Tuesdays is called Tech Tuesdays. So you basically get a tech Jedi in your back pocket. So if you have
Mm-hmm.
any issues with your CRM, your funnels, your Stripe, your API integrations, anything like that, I'm not tech savvy. My tech Jedi basically fixed 3 years of work in 30 days. So I'm
Whoa.
I'm good. So you get a Tech Jedi in your back pocket every Tuesdays for an hour.
At what
Wednesdays
time?
you get 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Okay.
lunchtime, because I know people are working and in school.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays we have social media Wednesdays and video content strategy. We have a professional videographer, and also we have a social media queen who basically blows up Instagram with you're growing your audience and engaging and getting more leads. So with my own Instagram, she was able to take it in 60 days. She got from 0 to 400 followers and over 20,000 views on my IG reels from about 10
Wow.
videos. Okay, so
Wow.
that's pretty significant for me. I can't even grow my own personal Instagram following for more than 2, 3, 4, 5 people a month. She did
Mm-hmm.
400 in 2 months. So that's
Wow.
social media and video content strategy on Wednesdays. Thursdays, I do sales ninja masterclasses on Thursdays to help people to sell more, to give more. So people are getting results every single week. And then Friday is Fitness Fridays, which is health is wellness. So body, mindset, holistic health. So you get all those
Mm-hmm.
4 calls every single week. In addition to that, you get one-on-one coaching to help you onboard, to get you clear on your pricing, your client avatar, and your clarity on your offer. And then we do a follow-up call to help you basically have a 30-day game plan to make you the most money in the least amount of time.
Powerful. Wow. So, what's the next step for someone if someone is interested in that and to learn more?
Yeah, so I mean, join my free Facebook group. Get to know me. Like I said, selling more and giving more is all about building relationships. Come
Mm-hmm.
in, see if you like it. I usually like the Costco model where it's taste and see. I go to
Yes.
Costco, and I ended up going with my 8-year-old daughter, and we ended up pretty much with all the snacks and all the little samples, eating like a lunch or a meal, if you will. And I promised I would not buy anything there because we only went for a gas and washroom break. And then I ended up coming outside from a sample taste and test, buying $500 worth of groceries.
Holy
Right.
smoke. Wow.
So the whole idea is come in, taste and see, and if you like what you see, you can come out with more.
Exactly. Just like give them a taste and make them an offer you can refuse, you know. Let them taste it. Let them,
Exactly.
you know, they in some pet shop, for example, they I heard on a podcast they allow the person to take the puppy at home for a week to try it. And of course nobody's gonna bring
Yeah,
it
that's
back.
dangerous. Of
Nobody's
course.
gonna bring it back because they build that bond with that little puppy. So wow, yeah, that's powerful. Beautiful.
Powerful persuasion. Yeah.
Totally. So when is the actual launch date of this program?
So the launch date of the Sales Ninja show is next Tuesday, May the 10th, which is the
Hmm.
training at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next Friday, the 13th,
Oh yes.
should we have Jason in the hot seat? Today's May the 4th, by the way. So May the 4th be with you.
Oh
And
yes.
so Friday, every Fridays is the Q&A hot seat for our coaches to help them get unstuck in real time.
Beautiful. Wow, that looks amazing. So what is the number one piece of advice you would give to anyone right now who is struggling with their sales?
You know, one thing that I mentioned to a lot of people in my master classes and in other areas that I teach is this saying that I say, it's a motto: sales without faith is dead. In the Bible, it says faith without actions is dead. And in the sales world, I say sales without faith is dead. When I talk to so many people, one of the things that I find as a common thread of not being able to make sales and crush their numbers is they don't really believe in themselves, right? They'll make money for other people. They'll work 9 to 5 in the corporate trying to help their bosses. When it comes to themselves and what they can do, I'm like, you have a gift, Payman. But then they're like, oh really? Do you think I can help people in this world? I mean, look at what you've done. You've talked to almost 200 people in like the last 12 months, and you have become a best-selling author numerous times, and you have a Rolodex of networks where
Well,
you'll
so
never
far
run out
only
of.
once, and the second book is coming in July. So
Oh, I know. Oh, and that's coming. I'm just
yes.
future pacing of
Oh
the
yes.
numbers that you're
Thank
going
you.
to do at the pace that you're going. You're never going to run out of network
Oh
leads,
yes.
referrals, business, joint ventures, collaborations, and it's because you've done it really well. You have learned to
Consistently.
believe in yourself. Exactly.
Mhm.
You've learned how to do it well, and you've learned how to take action. So you have faith in yourself. You believe in what you
Thank
offer.
you.
So I just want to encourage others: believe in who you are, the gift that you have, and let your voice be heard.
Absolutely. I had last week, we had the graduation party for the class of April for my podcasting academy, launch a podcast in 3 weeks. Couple of
Congratulations.
ladies, thank you. Couple of ladies said something that I really resonate with, but also it hurt me. They said, when I asked them, what was holding you back from launching your podcast? And they said something that really was painful for me to hear because I was in their shoes. They said, I thought that my message didn't matter. Who am I to launch a podcast? My message is not worth it to be shared. I'm not a celebrity. I don't have 55 PhDs after my name. Who the hell is going to listen to me? I said, no,
Mm,
every message, every person matters. Even if your message helps just one person, then your message is successful because we're all here for a reason to share that story. And it is absolutely what, reflects what you just said. It's all about, every story matters. Absolutely.
yeah, well said. I mean, I'm speechless because I think you're right. I've seen so many other people that you've helped find a voice and give them a platform. So that
Thank
is
you.
you're a gift. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. So, if anyone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
They can find me on Facebook. .com /Jaylee Canada, JAYLEE Canada. On Instagram, they can find me on Sales Ninja Pro, Sales Ninja Pro. So either Instagram Sales Ninja Pro or Facebook.com /JayLee Canada. They can DM me sales, and then I can get on a call with them and give them a free 15-minute audit for being one of the listeners on your podcast.
Beautiful, beautiful. Just while we're talking, something came to mind as of one of your branding, the closing pastor. You know what I mean? The sales pastor, you know, pastor. That would be amazing. But anyways, listen, always a pleasure talking to you, my friend. Send me all those links. I'll put them in the show notes. And yeah, so I'm excited. Any parting tips?
I just you find your voice, and in the digital space, really, as coaches and entrepreneurs, our message
Mm-hmm.
gets diluted by like 30%. So in terms of your energy level, in terms of your what you think you're doing, you might think that you're getting this message across, but really people don't know who you are. And so I
Mm-hmm.
recommend that you get on with payment because he's going to put you on the platform. I recommend that
Sure.
you continue to network with people that you want to trade results with, and when you rub shoulders with them, you're only going to level up.
Beautifully said. Thank you very much. Powerful. So listen, I salute you as always. You're a true leader with a heart, and I do mean it because you've been doing it as a pastor and not only as a sales ninja, but you're selling with a heart, with integrity. You're not selling just for sake of numbers and putting numbers. You're selling because you're actually helping real people with real problems solve their whatever issue they have. And that to me is price. That's what business is all about. It's not just a matter of selling just for your own benefit, but selling in a way not only to help, but to help someone else go through transformation. Because from my experience, the two greatest benefits of doing business: number one, the transformation you see in the lives of people you work with, and number two, the beautiful friendship you build in the process. And the money is icing on the cake. The money is not the cake. So when you do that from a point of, transformation and building wonderful friendships, then of course, then it's so much more fun, so much more, powerful and impactful. And you've been doing it better than anyone. I salute you. So keep doing it, keep shining your light, keep blessing the world with your message, with your impact, with everything you're doing, with your wonderful rhymes. So you need to be doing some rhymes to your work to make to add some characters, some flair. Not
I
saying that you
always
don't
wanted
have
to be a
it, but
rapper. I
hey,
always
there you
wanted to
go.
be a
That's your.
rapper. So
I
there
remember
you go.
last time that we had a podcast, you had a bunch of musical instruments behind you. So
Yeah, yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So there you go, man.
yeah.
The closing, the pastor, DJ, closer. Something like that. The singer.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely.
Listen, brother. Have a wonderful, fantabulous day. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so
Cheers.
much for having me, Payman.
Pleasure on mine.
Okay.
Cheers.